Sir, good afternoon, sir. Welcome, sir.
Sir Venkatesh sir, good afternoon.
Ma'am, good afternoon, ma'am.
நல்லா இருக்கீங்களா? எப்படி இருக்கீங்க சார்?
Good afternoon, ma'am. Afternoon, ma'am.
Yes sir, good afternoon.
Video calling. Good afternoon to everyone. I extend a warm welcome to all the academicians and corporate members present here to the National Level Digital Faculty Development Program. I would like to express my gratitude to our yesterday speaker for sharing her great views on the application of business analytics. Today, our speaker is Dr. G. Venkatesan, Associate Professor and Head Department of Commerce in KPR College of Arts, Science and Research. We have over 16 years of experience in teaching field. He earned a PhD in Chicana College of Arts and Science, Kerala, and enhanced his expertise and postgraduate program in Bardhasan University, Trichy, and also done his MCom in Hindustan College of Arts and Science. He has also done diploma in inter, human resources and introduction to information technology for managers. CERN have done 50 plus paper participation and presentation in national and international level seminars, and also they have attended 30 plus faculty development programs and workshops. It is a privilege to have such an amazing person as a speaker today. Now I request Dr. Venkatesan Gopal sir to take over.
Good afternoon, all. Am I audible to all?
Yes, sir.
Good afternoon, all, and myself, Venkatesh. As it was a wonderful introduction, and as of now, I am working in Christ University, Yeshwanthpur campus, Bangalore. And today, the topic which is given to me is innovative approaches to business analytics, pedagogy, trends, and capstone projects. As we were discussing about the various factors of business analytics, tools, approaches, everything in the past 4 days. And like today, we are going to discuss about the pedagogy as well as the capstone projects that are related, like how the business analytics can be incorporated with these parts. Like business analytics is a tool-centric approach. Generally, we used to say like it is a tool-centric approach, like which integrates the components like theory, technology, real-world data, experiential learning, and to make this business analytics in an effective way, the role of faculty guidance is very important, because when we talk about the business analytics part, it is completely a theory-oriented one, but it focuses with the technology to work on the real-time data, that too with the experiential learning part. So to do all these aspects, we need the guidance of a faculty members. So as when we talk about the theory part, like there should be a strong foundation with the statistical and mathematical concepts that plays a essential role in understanding the principles of analytical techniques. When we talk about the theoretical part, like I can see like descriptive statistics, inferential statistics, algebra. So we have all these calculation parts in the business analytics. So the theoretical part is the base thing to understand the concept of business analytics. And when we talk about technology, there are certain techniques that are available for the students as well as the faculties to use this theoretical concepts in the technological softwares that remains essentials. And when we move for the real world data, like it is very crucial for developing a practical analytical skill. So when we talk about an analytical skill, that has to be done in a practical way. So we used to collect the data, that is the real-time data. Like we have much number of open source documents as of now, open source reports. Like we have a plenty of secondary data. So we used to collect data and we used to make some corrections in the data. It means like data, part of data mining or data cleaning. Like we used to rectify the errors, inconsistencies, and the missing values of the data, and we used to transform the data, and finally we used to explore the data. So by using this real-time world, the students will get an opportunity to work with the real-time data sets from various industries and to apply their analytical skill to solve the problem. So like we used to say, like we used to collect the historical data and we used to work with certain parts. But nowadays it is not required. We can get an online source of data. Then we can work accordingly with the real-time problems. Then the students will get more exposure towards it. And when we talk about the experiential learning, like as we all know, it is a part of teaching too. Like experiential learning allows the students to apply their knowledge and the skills in the practical set. For examples, using of case studies, and we used to give them some live projects, internships, and we encourage the students. That is like we motivate the students to develop critical thinking, problem solving, and the communication skill through making them to attend the hackathons. Now you can see there are much number of competing data analytical challenges happens through hackathon. So these are all certain experiential learning, like even the students can attend the hackathons and they can see like how the real-time problems have been taken and how it is being done. And they can see like like they have to know like how this data can be taken from a source, like how it can be worked. And we have, as a faculty member, we have to see like certain components has to be mentored properly, like some research aspects, like how to make the students to involve in the industry engagement. And all these factors has to be done in a continuous learning process. So as a faculty, we should also encourage the students to develop a strong communication and collaborative skill that essentially for to work effectively with the data-driven organizations. So as a whole, this business analytics is a evolving trend to meet the demands of the modern business world. And as we discuss, it is an approach that integrates the theory, which applies the technology, which uses the real-time data, and that real-time data has to be guided properly by the faculty members or through the learning curriculum to make it in a proper experiential way. So these are all the things which we talk generally about the business analytics. And next, we move on to the innovative approaches in business analytics pedagogy. So business analytics pedagogy, it means like it focuses on the strategy. Generally, like what we do is we have a traditional lecture-based methods, but we don't find right now all these things. Traditional lecture methods are being still, even though it is still doing, but we have converted everything into like flipped classrooms, case-based and problem-based learning, simulation-based learning, gamification, collaborative learning, integration of AI tools, and experiential learning. See, like the traditional way workouts for certain things, but now the students are Gen Zs. They don't want to sit for hours together to listen to classes. So, like even they are expecting some content that has to be given beyond the class hours, where they can sit in their homes and they can attend. They can do by themselves. So as a first thing, like we will start with the flipped classroom. So this is a model it converts the traditional approach into a student engaging approach. Like you can see the students will be engaged with certain recorded videos, like they have certain reading, like they have, for example, they may have ebooks, like certain course materials that are available through online, and they can grasp themselves from their own space. It is not necessary like they have to come for the classroom. But even they come for the classrooms, they may feel certain doubts beyond the class hours. Like they can equip themselves by having some engaged video tutorials, readings, and other source of materials. And nowadays, this flip room classroom also involves the case study. Like we will be taking a case and we will be talking about real world business cases, like what are all the concepts that can be forehand uh, to make the student understand about the challenges and the opportunities. So all these things can be done from the case studies and live problem solving. Like we used to take a complex problem scenario and we used to work with certain data sets and we will help them to come up with their own solutions, and we can tell them to have a group discussion, and we can ask them to discuss about the concepts that they have done and to share their insights and to develop a solution to a problem. Like whatever the problem they have taken, like that can be done with the discussion part and they can come up with a solution. So as of now, the flipped classroom approach promotes an active learning. It is not like active learning, it is also involving in making them to think critically, and which enhances with problem solving skills and essentially for business analytics part. Like these are all the things that can be done through the flipped classrooms. When we talk about the case based and problem based learning, that is BPL, like what we do is we have an immersed real time scenario. Like what we will do is like we can take some hardware cases, like a well document business case that has been available in the websites of Harvard Business School to understand the decision making and how the role of analytics is playing a huge role in the business driven solutions. So we can have that cases and we can discuss and we can engage the students and we can ask the students to do with this case studies. And we can see like we can take some data sets like from Kaggle competitions. We can able to build our own model, and by having a data set we can use certain data analysis and we can create a model, and we can predict the analytics. Like we can have a predictive analytics, like we can forecast like how for example we can have a sales report and we can see like how the sales will be in future. So we can do by ourselves with the real-time data sets. So these are all for example, okay, we will come with the example. We can have a case study like how this Amazon optimizes delivery routes using predictive analytics. So if you take a case study related to this, then you can see the various factors that is focusing on demand, like traffic patterns, the cost of the delivery, and you can develop an analytical model to optimize fast or rapid delivery routes. So these are all certain things which can be used based on a case and a problem based learning. So they will take a case, they will try to identify a practical solution for a problem, or sometimes they can take a problem and with the help of certain mentorships they can able to find a solution for the real time business problems. And when we move for the simulation based learning, like this is like focusing on the virtual environment. Virtual environment, like it is an approach where the students can do certain experiments by themselves, like using tools like Tableau, Power BI, Excel, and we have plenty of softwares as of now, like even any logic. So these are all certain online real-time simulation process where you can use the data and you can create different models, and in a simple way, like creating a dashboard presentation can be done, and that is done that will help the students to come up with their own creativity, the own understanding, like which data improves the decision making and how to apply the data with different categories, like how to make it the data into a different category. All it can be all done through their skills, and that helps the students to stimulate themselves, and they can explore more with their own skills. So that concept will be known as the simulation based Ranking achievements. For example, we can award them with certain badges. So in where in the Christ University, if some people are doing good, we used to award them with a best performer. There will be certain badges we used to encourage them. We used to motivate them, and you can have like it means that they are doing some special task when compared to other people. And once we feel that that student is good with certain skills, by using that skill we will explore much, we will help him to explore much with the other activities. And we also help the other students to like to we will ask him to mentor the other students. It is like a peer understanding group, so where the other people also will be joining with him, and they will be taking some challenging analytical problem, and they will come up with the best solution. So in simple, like gamification makes learning fun, and it engages the student. It also motivates to achieve, and first of all, it makes the students to participate in the learning process, and by this way, it also helps them to develop their analytical skills. These are all certain things which gamification is playing a huge role in analytics. And we talk about the collaborative and peer-to-peer learning. Like collaborative learning is like a peer-to-peer learning, like which involves a student in a team to teach between them. Like we used to say it as a group team presentation or team involvement. Like they used to have themselves a leader. Like for example, we will be allotting them a mini project where the student required to work together with the different teams to analyze the data, to build a model, or like they'll come up with certain findings where they themselves have to create certain dashboards, some models, and they come up with certain presentations. So if they work with a team, they collaboratively learn like what is their strength and what is their weakness. This collaborative learning helps to promote a teamwork, a communication, and critical thinking skills that are essential for their success. Like you can see, if five people working together, like all five people will be having their different skills, but they can put all their different skills together, where each one of them in the team will be able to understand what the other skill is, and what way other student is making some uniqueness with their works and in their nature. And when we move for the next, interpretation of AI and generative tools, like integration of AI tools is nothing but how the students can use the AI concept, because we are in the digital era. Like AI is playing a major role, and there are many topics that has been discussed under AI perspective. So what they will do is like actually we don't want to do anything. The students themselves have nowadays started using ChatGPT, Copilot, or AutoML, DeepSeek. So these are all certain AI tools which is available for free source. Like the students themselves can accelerate their learning and develop analytical solution. Like during our days, like if we have a problem, we used to discuss with many people. We used to go for the library. We used to get some expertise advice, and it will take a long time process to make everything to work out. But as of now, we have much number of AI tools. Like it is like a human thinking, which helps to understand the concepts and to interpret with certain answers. So this AI is also playing a major role. If we discuss about the ethical implement, we have to teach the students about the ethical implications of the AI, because like nowadays the students are more into the AI tools. So we cannot stop them by using the AI tools, but at the same time we can help them to know like how this ethics is playing a huge role in the AI. Like we can leverage the power of AI by understanding or by giving them the ethical considerations, and we have to teach them the limitations, like in what are all the ways this AI can be used for their education purposes. And the last part is experiential learning. Like we have been already discussed about this. It is a pedagogy which will work with the real-time world experiences and which help them to grow with their day-to-day routine activities. For example, like nowadays we used to have hands-on training, and we help them to work on some business contest. At the same time, we used to give some exposure of certain knowledge through guest lectures. Like we will ask them to go with some intentions, and even nowadays the students are working with some mini projects. So these are all certain experiential learning part that can be done through this pedagogy approach in the business analytics. So the business analytics part, like we can use this flipped classroom, case-based, assimilation, gamification, collaborative learning, integration, experiential learning. All these concepts can be used as a pedagogy approach in the business analytics. So business analytics is not like doing a calculation and going with other things. We can implement all this pedagogic approach in the business analytics, which will help the students to come up with more exposures. And now we have we have discussed about few parts of how the pedagogy can be incorporated with the business analytics. Now you can see emerging trends in business analytics pedagogy. Like what are all the things that can be done with this emerging trends? So there'll be a question like just implementing a part of business analytics will be a portion of an improvement in the curriculum. It doesn't mean the same. It is similar. Like you can use more trends of business analytics with incorporating certain pedagogies. For example, like we can incorporate certain concepts with the business analytics through certain pedagogies. Like we will go come up with the first point called interdisciplinary learning. So you can see like integrating across the various functions of an organization. If you take a business analytic pedagogy as a integrated analytics, you can see it is playing a huge role in finance, HR, healthcare, supply chain, marketing. So like even we have much more number of areas. For example, like if we take finance. So in the financial part, like this business analytics help us to work with the financial data by using R programming, Python, and they may create a financial modeling concepts like stock marketing analysis. All is now done with and part of analytics. When we talk about HR, HR like this data which is collected through the HR. There are students nowadays like many of us like we are able to identify the contributions of to know how this employee turnover happening, like what will be the performance. You will be able to predict the performance, and also you can optimize the recruitment strategies by using this analytics. When we come for this healthcare industry, like it also improves the patient outcomes. Like we will be able to collect the data related to patient outcomes. Like we can optimize the resource allocation that are available to the healthcare industry, and we are able to identify the pattern of the disease. The analytics helps the people to know about the pattern of the disease and the rates, affect rates, and operations of certain operations in the sense the functional operational functions of certain uh, improvements that is done in the healthcare industry. All these things can be understood by using this analytics. And now we will come for the second, like the cloud and big data platforms. When we talk about cloud and big data platforms, like utilizing advanced technology for data management. So nowadays, the variety of data, the volume of data, and the velocity of data are increasing day by day. So the business, data. For example, in commerce term, we can say it as transactions. Day by day, like each much number of transactions are happening in a business activity. Like we cannot avoid the transaction, but at the same time, by having that data, we can predict certain things. For example, we can have some services. Like for example, we can get through AWS. We will have a AWS services to store the data because this cloud and big data platforms are purely we are dumping much number of data in a particular area. Like we can develop an analytical storage like these platforms like Google Cloud, Microsoft, Amazon Web Services. So these are all certain infrastructure tools that help us to store the data. And whenever it is required, we can take that data and we can predict the future by having an analytical solution. So we can give an analytical solution and we can go with identification of certain factors. AI-driven personalization is a key trend in business analytics, like adaptive learning platform process, like for example, if I want to do an online course, I can choose the medium of how the program structure should be of. Like some courses, it will be having like a base level, medium level, and high level. So I can choose the learning process by myself. I can use in the technology. I mean, I can go through with the technological part. So now you can go with high level of understanding. You can go with medium level of understanding. So this resources and this approaches help a student or a learner, a beginner, like to work to get more of the understanding level of the people. And the next one will be of ethical considerations, like it emphasizes on responsible and ethical practices. Like you can see the AI becomes more pervasive. Like nowadays, we all use AI, even teach them how the data can be ethically used in the online sources. And at the same time how this AI systems are fair and equitable to make certain process in the education sector. All these things can be done by using ethical consideration. And when we move for this micro credentials, it offers focused certification for specific skills. Like you can see nowadays, the employability skills are growing a bit tougher, tougher in the sense for understanding level. But that has been sorted out by this micro credentials. Like you can see, like many concepts are embedded together, and different certification programs are used on Google Data Analytics, where it shows how a communication can be done with the informative part and how a data visualization can be done. And the same way, when we talk about data visualization, you have certain certification courses related to Tableau and the Microsoft Power BI. So these are all certain certifications which demonstrate the expertise of the programming level and the usage of technology, which will be helping a student perspective to get more good career opportunities. And next, we have a capstone centric curriculum. Actually, like trend, we used to have a capstone centric curriculum, which is purely based on or it emphasis on the project based assessment. So, in capstone project, students will work on the real world business problem. They can apply their skills and knowledge throughout the program. They can have a they can have an approach that provides the students with hands-on experience and to develop a critical thinking concept with the problem-solving skills. So, we will take the real-time problem, like we apply our skills, knowledge, and finally we will get some hands-on experience through like workshops, some modeling programs, and we used to develop a critical thinking concept, and finally we used to have a skill of problem solving. So all these things can be done with the help of capstone centric curriculums. Like capstone centric is nothing but like we don't want to focus on only a theoretical part. We have to come up with different project based learning that has to be done in a practical way. And the final trend will collaboration, encouraging the international partnership and the teamwork. Like in As business analytics is one of a global field, it has a collaboration across the borders in is becoming increasingly important. Like you can see, like the students from different countries can follow online courses where a student from wherever he can, wherever from here he is, like he'll be able to get a knowledge that the students can access MOOC courses and they can get expert. Many hackathon programs have been conducted, and you can see that people from different places they are towards joining together for a problem solving skill. Students and the initial learners will get us, they can collaborate with the different peer groups beyond their level. That has been like preparing them to work in a globalized business environment. This is what about the emerging trends where these pedagogies will be done basically to upskill the skills of the students community, right? And when we talk about this capstone project, so how this capstone project works good in this business analytics. So capstone project and business analytics will always highlight their role, like that capstone projects. So it emphasizes on the benefits where it also provides diverse domains with business analytics. For example, like we can say like this as already it has been discussed, but we will be having certain like this capstone project is a crucial link between the academic and the professional environment. They offer a unique opportunity to the listeners or the learners to apply the skills and knowledge and to make a solution for the business challenges. This collaboration can take various forms, such as partnership with local businesses, creating an internship opportunity with certain consultancies. I mean, certain they may get some insights on practical applications, and they also get some better understanding of the challenges and the opportunities that is faced by the organizations on the current trend. And these are all some examples of role in the name of marketing analytics. So now we will have a small examples for each and everything. So for marketing analytics, like we can have a prediction concern where each and every business people will be facing. Like they always try to sustain a customer with them, but if they churn their from the business. So basically, like for all these types of analytics, we have a formula like we have to collect the data, we have to work on the data, we have to create a model, we have to see the performance call like what it is happening. And finally, a predictive model can be defined to implement the retention strategies and to reduce the churn rates proactively. So, supply chain analytics. We will take an example like optimizing inventory for retail chains through demand forecasting. So, we will have an optimal inventory levels and lost sales. So we'll be having some stockouts and some loss in the sales. So like this supply chain is a proper channel where you can have a demand forecasting concept, time series forecasting model to see how the supply chain model is working. Like they can implement some time series thing to analyze like how it, the method of RNN, the sales revenue, like they can improve the inventory management. So to improve the inventory management, they need analytics to be done in the supply chain where it can be forecasted and they can able to maintain. When we talk about a modeling employee concept, like you can see like employee attrition, like the employees leaving a company will be let us like employee reduce the employee attrition rates to improve the workforce planning and to increase employment engagement. So the factors that are related to this thing can be done with the help of including the HR and the analytics. And next, we move into pressure to reduce their carbon footprint and to improve their sustainability practices. So we will take it as a small problem. We will conduct a carbon footprint analysis to identify the significant source of greenhouse gas emission factor calculation and the calculation of hot spot analysis. We can use scenario analysis Like these are all certain analysis that are being done and the sustainable factor. And finally, we can action for the opportunity and development of the manufacturing firms, because the problem is focusing on the improvement of the sustainable practices. Like what, see, actually up with many factors like how this can be done by using an analytics and what all the things that can be done with this. And when we talk about financial data, like detecting fraud in credit card transaction using anomaly detections, like so you can see part like how the financial thing is getting lacked with the system nowadays. The cybercrime people also having many patterns in identifying the fraud based activities that is occurring with the financial sector, and that can be analyzed through certain analytical factors, and which helps to overcome with an effectively identifying the fraud detection transactions, which will reduce the financial losses and protecting the cardholders. So these are all certain analytical part that will help in the finance. Significant concern for the hospitals, as they indicate potential quality of care issues and leading to increased cost. Like there are certain engineering works like redemption risks such as number of the health. So applying certain machine learning models, we can classify and we can develop a model to identify the risk pattern of redemption and to implement targeted interventions to prevent the redemptions. So it will be helping us to overcome with reduced and finally, we move on to the social media analytics. So, sentimental analytics, like we will analyze customer sentiment for product innovation. So, understanding like how a customer on social media will help us to give a valuable insight to perform a sentimental analysis on customer reviews to identify the product improvement and innovation. So, for example, like nowadays, social media is playing a huge role. We will have a sentimental analysis concept. So, we will use that data to be expressed in each view. Like we can create much number of approaches. We can able to identify that techniques that will help us to gain an actionable insight from product innovation media through the part of social media analytics. Now, it's very much required to give problem solving concepts, to mentor the people with the problem solving concepts. Like it highlights the importance of ensuring the industry alignment, guiding the students in methodology and interpretation. And it also helps to create, they has to go with a mentor role, like faculty members guide students as mentor, not a problem solvers. We have to guide them to come up with the problem solving aspect. We should not be a problem solver to the problem which is identified by the student. And the second part is industry alignment, where aligned with the industry part, like they should work with the real-time data, so which will be more benefit for the industry alignment. Methodological guidance, like students receive guidance on research methods and data analysis. Like we have to guide as this business analytics is purely on a theoretical part. We have to help them coming up with analysis can be done and what uh, the solution, how the solution can be done in a meaningful way. Assessment criteria, like projects are evolved based on the problem definition, rigor, and visualize these things. So it will be very easy for them to do a good capstone project. And suggesting teaching framework, like the framework is of four components like foundational knowledge, practical application, industry integration, teachers. The goal is to ensure that all the students have a common understanding of the fundamental concepts by using necessary software and techniques. Like we have to help them to come up with a selection of good software and all other things. Through applying their skills in the real-time scenario through case studies and data sets, the objective is to develop practical problem-solving abilities and demonstrate how theoretical concept can be used to address the specific challenges. And the third one is students in project to current industry trends and challenges. which requires students to apply all the knowledges and skills they critically solve complex problems and effectively communicate their solution domain. By combining the theoretical foundation with the practical application analytics, how we can navigate the innovation team, which plays where the orienting the effective learning practices, like they have to make the students to come up with different innovative teaching methods, like innovation in pedagogy, where the traditional make learning techniques through case studies, simulations, and how the current trends are working with capstone projects. So this allows blending technology, ethics, and storytelling. So will become is becoming more powerful. Students must understood critical tools and techniques, findings to the stakeholders who may not have a technical background. Students need to translate the complex data into an actual professionals, which will equip with the skills and knowledges they need to be succeed in a rapid changing field and positively impact in the world. So to be succeed in a rapid changing field, by the teachers can prepare students to be more effective and in the capstone projects. So with this, we will projects. Uh, yeah, thank you.
Gratitude. The distinguished speaker of the day, Dr. Venkatesan Gopal, the National Thanks to our patron, Dr. A. Gomswamy Sir, Principal of our Dr. P. Sharapam, Professor and Head of the Department, whose guidance and vision have been the driving force participants, faculty members, and well-wishers for joining us today and making this session fruitful.
Sir, thank you for your time and the knowledge sharing.
It's okay, ma'am.
Thank you,
Thank you.
sir. With the support of student coordinators, so our students are also getting some exposure in taking faculty development. Thank you so much. Thank you all. Thank you. Wish you all have a very
Box.